Stop putting girls on pedestals. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Have you ever met a woman and she just took over your brain? She was like amazing and beautiful in all the ways that you wish you could find somebody. You've never found anybody like her. You barely even know her, but oh my God, she's amazing. And you're saying, Duke, what do you mean don't put her on a pedestal? She's special. She's the one. I've never met anybody like her. She's totally awesome. I think she deserves this because she's the one. Stop it. Don't put girls on a pedestal because it never fucking works. Ever. In the history of mankind, never works. I'm Duke DeLate for The Attractive Man, and I'm here to tell you if you've got an unhealthy obsession with a woman who barely knows you, but you are constantly thinking about her, I'm gonna give you 4 tips in this video to get over her so you can go on living the rest of your life and maybe make something out of it. Make sure to stay to the end of the video because at the end I give you some practical ways to deal with these 4 tips in your life.
I'm Matt.
Many boot camps encourage men to be assertive.
My name is Josiah.
Josiah is a master at day game.
Loved it.
4, 6, 7.
We've done all the testing. We know what works.
Now you've probably heard of putting a woman on a pedestal. That's our tendency to notice all of her good qualities or even project good qualities onto her and not see any of her negative ones. Now seeing people in an optimistic light is a total good thing. It's good to see the best in people. However, the problem comes when we project our fantasies onto her and expect her to act like that all the time. Or if we see only the best parts and expect her to be that way all the time and never have normal things like mood swings, having bad moods, having horrible things happen, making mistakes like normal humans do. The problem is with this mode of thinking is that who she actually is not matching up with your projective fantasy of who she is, and that's always a recipe for disappointment. Guys who think this way fall into 2 camps. One, they either don't have an abundance mentality, they're not used to getting a lot of girls, or 2, they don't have a lot of experience in the area, so they don't know what to expect. Before I learned all this stuff, I used to think like this all the time. I met this girl back in the day, and she was awesome. I went to the nightclub, I grabbed her hand and we introduced each other, we ended up on the dance floor, we shared all this time together, and then we made out, and it was beautiful and amazing, and I saw stars, and she's awesome. But it didn't work out because what I had originally thought she was, I had been projecting on like my ideal partner. I'd been expecting her to act like that, and I was not seeing the signs that she was actually a human being and had her own life going on. So rather than engaging with her and trying to figure out who she actually was, I just expected her to act the way that my ideal partner would act so that it would just allay all of my insecurities and do everything that I wanted, and obviously that blew up in my face. Like really bad. Like blew up in my face. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you met a girl that just took over and you don't actually know who she is? You haven't taken the time to figure out who she is, and so she's disappointing your expectations? Okay, so let's go over a couple of ways to stop obsessing over this chick so you can actually move on with your life and have a possibility of engaging her as an actual human being. Step 1, knock her off her pedestal by flipping the script. We men walk around asking for too much permission to do stuff. We're not actually assertive or dominant in our decision making, and we just wait for people to give us permission for stuff. You gotta remember, man, you're awesome. You are a prize to be won. And here's the deal. You're gonna walk into that interaction, if you believe in equality of men and women and down with the patriarchy and everything, then you must believe that you are her equal. So when she rolls in, you can't be like, oh, you're so up here and you are angelic and you have no problems and you're not human and love me. Giving away all your power. That's silliness. It doesn't even make sense. And it never works. So flip the script. Be like, look, I am the prize to be won. I am awesome. Look at these things that I have and how you would want to get to know me, and expect her to want to pursue you, because in reality, that's what happens when you're not being an insecure weirdo. When you show these weak ass behaviors, she will turn off in her brain any attraction that she had for you, unless it's pity. She'll turn off and she'll be, oh, well, I guess he wasn't like as cool as I thought he was. And then she'll be like nice for the rest of the conversation. Yeah. Bam, friend zone. You did it to yourself. If you're still with me and you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now and click the little bell so you don't miss anything. Step 2. Every hero has a quest and every man has a mission. Find your mission. Something beyond women and dating, okay? Something that you're gonna go change the world with. Make it your master quest and then commit to yourself to crush it. As you move along your path and your ambition comes up and you start moving forward and just knocking down goals, your confidence and your self-worth is gonna come up. Regardless of how the women are responding in your life, it's gonna come up and make you a confident human being. It's gonna bleed out, it's gonna show through to everybody around you and be super obvious that you're awesome. When you do this, you're gonna become instantly much more attractive and you'll stop doing the weird obsessing behavior and operating from a scarcity mentality. Step 3, become self-reliant and take responsibility for your emotions. First off, you've got to be responsible for your emotions. The things that go on in your head, things that come up from your heart, and they're like making you do things. That's falseness. You choose your behavior. Most guys can get behind the fact that their past, their childhood is no longer affecting what they choose to do now. Most guys can get behind the fact that the things that happen outside of their environment, having an external locus of control, is not affecting how they choose to respond. But a lot of guys will drop the ball when it comes to their internal emotions. You have these things come up from the inside and then you react to them as if they were law, as if they were real. But they're not. Your behavior is just as controllable from the stimulus of your internal emotional system as it is from any sort of external stimulus. Master your own emotions. When things come up for you, you can think to yourself, am I going to act like a strong, ambitious guy, or am I going to act like somebody who's at the mercy of his own feelings? I'm not saying don't be emotional, but I'm saying make a choice on how you respond when your emotions come up. On a second subpoint of this thing is you should be able to help manage other people's emotions. Now you can't control other people's minds or other people's emotions. However, you can be constantly aware of how she's feeling so that when she feels uncomfortable, she feels unsafe, she feels happy, she feels excited, that you're able to note that and be able to communicate in a much more effective way. This will make people a lot happier to be around you, and it'll make you a much more effective communicator. Step 4, qualify her to be in your life. When you go out and you're like projecting your ideal partner onto every girl that you meet, and just because she's cute or just because the way she smiles tips you off somehow, she's not gonna live up to it and it's always gonna fail. It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail every time. Rather than do that, make sure you know what your ideal partner's qualities are. And then when you talk to her, you can have a conversation about the qualities that you would like to have in a woman. That way, when you throw them out there, she can respond, you know, that's really not me. That's really stupid. I don't know why any guy would expect that. Then you realize that she's not the one. And it's very easy not to be obsessed over girls who verbally shoot down your qualifications. This will do a couple of things. 1, it'll X out girls that are super not compatible right away. And 2, it will get you focused on looking for those qualities so that when you meet somebody who actually has them, you know when to jump and you're not being oblivious to what's going on in your world. The overarching concept of all this is to replace your myopic fantasy with reality. Actually interact with her. Actually talk to her. Actually give her your standards and qualifications and see what she brings back. Expect her to deal with you as a high status, high value, high ranking male, and don't expect her to just give away scraps because she's so perfect. Silliness. Armed with a clear understanding of your own standards, you'll be able to walk around the world looking for the things that you want in people and being aware, you can almost be intuitive about whether or not people have these things, and then you can start to evaluate rather than project your standards onto people. That will give you a much better time interacting with humans as humans and a much more likely shot of getting her to respond actually authentically to you. Okay, so some of you guys are thinking, okay, Duke, it's really good to be able to give my standards out to girls and have that whole conversation and be the prize and everything, but I don't even know what to say to start the conversation. I don't know what to say. Well, you're in luck, because Matt made a 6-step conversational cheat sheet in the link below. Go there now if you don't want to put girls on pedestals anymore. And he goes through 2 of the common mistakes guys make in field and how to stop doing them, and he gives you a bunch of games and flirty things to create a new vibe that makes women much more attracted to you than putting her on a pedestal. Take these tips, stop obsessing. I'm Duke DeLate for the Attractive Man team, and I'll see you in the next video.